they got the PPP loan. And they
My boy said he posted on Facebook. He said when they stop collecting all that stop unemployment, it's gonna be a lot of cars.
Right.
How you doing? I'd like to know first, what time are you planning on giving me a bed? Because right now it's like 6.
Okay.
You know, I came in at like 4:40,
450.
4:50, around that time. So at this time, you know, we're not actually making progress here. You know, I'm not getting any sleep. I'm being deprived of sleep right now. I got to work. So you guys told me 10 p.m. and I'm still sitting here. You see what I'm saying? And that's violating directly the DHS policy. You told me you're not giving me her name. I asked her name. That's directly violating the DHS policy. I need a copy. I need a copy of the contract that I signed with you with my signature. No. I talked to Mrs. Whatchamacallit, you know, on Saturday the 9th. Okay, and I asked her for a copy. She didn't give me a direct copy of my signature on the paperwork. She told me to ask you guys when I come back on Monday.
Why wouldn't you get a copy? They have the shelters and they have the client. She didn't give you the client part?
She did not give me a copy of what I signed. So what she did was she gave me a blank copy of what I signed. She did not give me a signature with my signature and her signature on the copy. She gave me a blank copy. So I need a copy of what I signed.
I don't have it.
Yes, so and she didn't give me all the paperwork. She gave me some of the paperwork. Okay, and it was blank. There was no signature. So I need the my signed copies. That's what I need. I need signed copies of what I signed and what she signed simultaneously.
You just ask her for everything that you need, okay? She comes.
Yeah, at the same time, I need her name.
And again,
you're the supervisor.
So I'm supposed to demand her to give you your name?
No, you're supposed to make her comply or discipline her. You're supervising their activities.
Okay, and I gave you my name.
Yeah, so what's your position outside of supervision? Like, what's your position within this organization? Just supervisor?
Yeah, supervisor.
Okay. So according to DHS policy, I'm entitled to know everybody's name. All right? So yes, I am. And you're directly violating it. If you can pull it out, the intake form that where the policy relies and it shows the client's rights and responsibilities. Client's rights, we have a right to know you guys' names. Okay? So and right now you're directly and you're willfully misconducting yourself. Okay? You're voluntarily misconducting yourself, and so is she. She's voluntarily ignoring me, not allowing me to inspect her ID upon request. I asked her, you know, to do that.
Are you supposed? Okay, let me ask
yes,
you.
And I have a right to see the ID.
Are you supposed to touch
by
her?
law, I never touched her.
Oh,
so what are you talking about? I said inspect.
Her.
No, you're You're convoluting my words. I said inspect the ID. Okay, that's what I said. You didn't have your ID on when I asked you for your name. Okay, now you put your ID on.
I gave you my name.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Like I said, it's on you. You didn't have your ID on. Like I said, like when I did request your name.
I gave you my ID.
After a few times requesting it, just like him, Mike Jones. So, like I said, I need her ID.
She's not gonna give it to you because you got my name.
So what's her? So that doesn't mean anything, miss. You're using your name to circumvent me getting her name. That has the same thing that he did with the food. So what? So what? You're trying to circumvent my right to know your name. So what? That doesn't mean anything. It's still a right. And you're depriving me of that right. Just because she's the supervisor, just because I got her name, doesn't circumvent the right for me to know your name. That's corruption. Yeah, corruption. Because you're not complying with the policy. What you're doing is you're trying to circumvent the policy, okay, with bullshit. You're talking about how she's the supervisor and you got her name, so I don't have to give you my name. That's bullshit. That's not complying with the policy, okay? That's what corruption is, all right? When you're refusing to perform your duties. That's simple. That's unwarranted behavior, all right? It's not warranted by the policy. You're acting out of your duties. That's my point. It don't matter if she's a supervisor or not. You have a duty to provide your name.
My name is Red.
Mrs. Red?
Yeah.
What's your first and last name, Mrs. Red?
Red, that's my name.
Yeah, no. What's your real name, miss?
That's my real name.
All right,
Red.
So let me see your ID. Can I see your ID?
I'm telling you my name.
Yeah, but I need to see your ID.
You don't need to see my my ID?
Yes, I do.
I'm telling you my name.
Miss, you already was denying me your name from the get-go. I need to see your ID. Same with Mike Jones. Mike Jones is telling me that's his name. He doesn't have his ID on. How am I supposed to know he's not lying to me? Continue, and I need a copy of the contract that I signed. Contract, please. I need a copy. I was told I was going to get a copy by the lady that I did the intake with. She told me to come back and ask you guys.
That's the program director come in?
Yeah, but I need a bed. I'm supposed to be sleeping right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay, so you're going to sit there and wait for her to come and give you a bed.
Who's her? Who you talking about?
Just like you said.
What's her name? Who you talking about? What's her name?
Sir, could you go in there?
You telling me her, but who? Who are you talking about? What's their name?
Go in there and sit down.
Yeah, I'm asking for their name.
For her.
Who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about.
You don't have to.
What's the name of the
Our
director?
program director.
Yeah, well, who's that? You acting like I don't have a right to know
You're
that.
not gonna come here.
So I need to know everybody. I need to know everybody's name and position. That's what I need to know. Yeah, now I need to know everybody's name. I need to know that, and I have a right to know that. I need to know everybody's name and position. Okay? Why are you screaming at me? I need to know everybody's name and position.
Brother?
You're supposed to be courteous. Ain't no brother. You're not a brother. You know, I'm not your brother. You're not a sister when you're acting like, you know, like you're my enemy. You're not even complying with your own duties. Yeah, you're not complying with your duty, the policy.
Oh, because you didn't get a bed ASAP as you come in.
And exactly, you're supposed to do that. You're not complying with the policy. Yes.
All right.
Talking about, oh, really? Like,
Kellier,
you're acting negligent. Like, I asked you for, a betting. I asked you for a copy of the contract that I signed with you guys. And I need the signatures that I made and she made that I did the intake with.
And again, I was not here when the intake was being done.
See, this is the type of bullshit that, you know, y'all keep spewing and try to circumvent people's rights. I have a right to betting. I have a right to betting now. You're trying to circumvent that right by telling me to wait until the director come now. Before it was waiting to 10 p.m. That's the bullshit. That's the corruption. Okay? You told me 10 p.m. later on tonight. Okay? When is the director coming in? Who's the director's name? When is that person supposed to be here? Is that after the time that bed check is done? You know, when people got to leave out the room? What are you talking about? Because according to your policy, you know, everybody's supposed to be out the room at what time? Huh?
Did you read yours?
8 o'clock. So if it's 8 o'clock, what time is this person coming in? What time is this person coming in, miss? The director, the program director. What time are they coming in? Answer the question. What time they coming in?
I'm not going to answer you.
Okay, so now you all right. That's what you choose to do. You're negligently not going to answer the question so that you don't give me the information that I need in order to intelligently make a decision. Yeah. So I asked you what's her name? And I asked you for a copy of the contract, and you refuse to give me that. You refuse to give me the time when the person arrives. This is what you're doing. You're refusing. Are you listening to yourself? You're refusing to comply with the policy, and you're refusing to give me that information.
I refuse you nothing.
You said I'm not going to give it to you. What do you call that? That's refusing to comply. To give me that information. I'm not going to give you nothing. You said that about, her name when I asked you about her name. You told me that you're not giving that to me. That's refusing. You're refusing to comply with the policy. Okay? Yeah, you did refuse to comply with the policy.
I'm giving you her name.
Well, you can go on YouTube and you can look at what you said. You know what I'm saying? And you look at the YouTube. Yep, it's on YouTube. You can look it up and you can watch what you said. You can look it up and watch what you said. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and you can see how she responded and how she reacted. I need to know when is the program director coming, and I also need a copy. I need a copy of the contract that I signed with the intake person. Okay?
And I wasn't here. I just came.
It doesn't matter. You have my name. My name is Joshua Kellier.
Okay.
I came in on Saturday. I did my intake on Saturday. I was told that I would get a copy on Monday. I just have to wait until people come back. It's a weekday now. Today's Wednesday. I'm asking for the intake that I should have got on Monday, but I wasn't here. So I'm here today. I'm asking for a copy of the intake. Okay? That's simple. You're making it more complicated than what it needs to be. Look my name up in your system the same way you looked up the time that I came in today. I need you to look that up so I can get a copy of the signature paperwork and all the paperwork, because I didn't get everything back. What she did was she gave me what she wanted to give me, and she kept everything else. So I need a copy of the paperwork I signed. That's simple. And I have a right to that.
You finish?
Let me know when you finish being negligent
Can I speak?
and willfully misconducting yourself.
Okay, continue to talk. I will wait for you to finish.
You're the one who has to, finish with the childish wage. I'm asking you for that information. That's simple.
You finish now?
Ask yourself that. And then you let me know when you're done.
Can I speak now?
You was always able to speak. I never, stopped you from speaking. Free speech.
You continue to speak. So you
Free speech is a country of free speech. You can exercise it at any moment, just like I am. So what I asked you is when is she coming, and a copy of the contract, all right? We're not going into a conversation about free speech. This is not about free speech right now. What it's about is the copy of the contract with my signature and her signature on it, okay? And I need to know when she's coming and her name.
Can I speak now?
Because you're telling me I'm supposed to get bedding when she arrives. What time is that?
You could speak to her about your bed.
Because you're refusing to give me bedding right now, even though you said earlier on you can look at the YouTube footage, even though you said earlier that you had beds. Okay, you just refused to give me a bed. You know what I'm saying? You just refused to give me her name, and Mike Jones refused to give me his name for 13 minutes, and you refused to give me your name upon request. After a few requests, you finally decided to give me a name. So I'm asking you guys, give me a copy of the contract that I'm entitled to with my signature and her signature on it. That's simple.
The case manager has your thing.
What thing? What thing are you referencing? What thing?
I was not here, Mr. Kelly.
Okay, but you can look me up in the system.
I did look you up in the system. We do.
So where's the contract?
The contract is not in the system.
Well, where do you guys keep it?
As again, you don't listen.
You
talk
said
a lot, but
so.
you
so
don't listen.
what are you saying, miss? Because you didn't tell me where it was kept. You never told me where it was kept.
I just told you. The case manager has it.
So if the case manager has it, where are they keeping it? Does the case manager have a different, room?
Yes.
Okay, so is it
This
there?
is,
This is not their room.
you
No,
appear
first of
to
all,
know
we
a
never
lot.
discussed anything about case manager. You
Hold
said
on.
program director.
You appear
Now you're
a
talking
lot.
about case manager.
Oh my God.
Do you hear what you're saying? You're talking about case manager now. I heard what you said. You're the one who's out of turn, out of context. You just said something about program director is supposed to come and I'm supposed to receive bedding. Okay? And then now you're talking about case manager. So what is this case manager name? Who is my case manager?
What it is?
Who's supposed to be
You
my
talk
case
a
manager?
lot
Who
and
is supposed to
you
be my
don't
case
listen.
manager? Because you never spoke to me about who my case manager is supposed to be. That's simple. Okay, so you spoke to me about the program director. You never spoke about who my case manager was. Never had that conversation. So who's this person?
We beating around the bush. Could you just sit down now?
All right, so I'm asking who the case manager is.
Miss Gardner.
Ms. Gardner. Okay,
When
so
she comes in,
yeah.
she will tell you who's going to be your permanent case manager, sir. They the one that has your intake packages. Your intake packages don't keep here. This is operation.
So we're
So it's 3 different departments.
okay.
Right?
That was never discussed with me in the intake.
I know. Because you talk a lot and you
No,
don't
first of all, I wasn't doing no talking during the intake. I
Oh,
was,
in the
so
intake,
you
I
don't
wasn't
know,
there.
you don't know what took place during it. You wasn't there,
See?
so I don't even know why you mentioning. Oh, you talks a lot. You're talking about the intake as if I'm talking about the intake. You're trying to tell me about the intake while I'm talking about the intake because you're talking a lot. That has nothing to do with me not knowing who the case manager was.
Mr. Kelly, I think we're not.
Because you're making assumptions. You're making false statements, and you're trying to build your basis of your argument off false statements. I'm asking you for a copy of the contract. You know what I'm saying, with my signature. So you're saying that I have to wait until the case manager comes. That's it. So I'll wait until the case manager comes. But at the same time, you're supposed to still give me when is she supposed to come? When is this program director supposed to come?
I don't know what time she coming in.
So you don't know what time I'm getting bedded. So you don't know what time. My point is, you don't know what time I'm going to get bedded. You don't know what time I'm going to get bedded.
The rules is once you come in the morning, you don't get bed until tonight.
I came in 4:50.
Okay.
Okay, so 4:50 is still
morning, right?
technically night.
No, it's more. Huh?
Yeah. So morning.
Okay.
Morning, people are not. So if I come into Atlantic Bedford, if I come into 30th and 1st, at this time, I get bedding.
Yeah, but
This is the only facility that I come into, and I'm not getting no bedding, and I have to wait until 10 p.m. the next night.
Yeah, because it's shelter the next
This is
night.
you're functioning, you're performing the same function as the state does. The state performs a better function than a private institution here that they hired to do their job for them. Okay, so as I'm telling you, when I go in the 30th and 1st or the Bedford Armory, they provide bedding. Okay, when I come in at any time. And the law says that you're supposed to. But yet you're still not complying with the law. You're failing to comply with the law. That's my point. You're acting out of your duties. Okay? And you're not complying with the policy. And yet you're sitting up here with this attitude like, you have a right to deprive people of bedding. When you don't. Neither does she. So what I'm asking, you telling me you don't know when she's coming. So you don't know when I'm getting bedding.
I just told you when you getting bedded. You come in.
You said you don't know because you don't know when she's coming. You telling me you don't know when she's coming. Those are your words.
She don't bed you. I do.
Okay, so if you're refusing to bed me and you're putting your responsibility in her hands to bed me, and you don't know when she's coming, and you're leaving it up to her to perform that duty that you supposed to perform negligently, not doing, that is depriving me of bedding. Okay? So and that's basically telling me that you
anyway,
you're not going you don't know when you're not going to provide me
YouTube.
bedding, huh?
You
And
said
she
that-
doesn't know. You don't know when she's coming. You don't know when I'm getting bedding. What is your question?
I'm gonna sit with myself. Excuse me.
Good morning.
Oh.
What's your question?
Miss Mandel.
How are you?
You can speak to her, brother.
Who's she?
Program director.
What's the
All right.
problem?
Yeah, she's acting out her duties. I asked her what's her name. She ain't wearing. Now she not wearing her her ID.
'Cause I'm getting ready
It doesn't matter. I still asked to inspect it. I still asked to know what your name is. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to know what her name is. For at least 45 minutes to an hour. I still didn't get an answer out of her until she said red. I'm asking her what what's her ID? Can I see her ID just to make sure? So I need to know what's her name.
What's the name? What's the problem?
What's her name? That's the problem.
She told you her name. Her name is Miss Red.
Miss Red? What's the
Yes.
full name?
What is the problem?
What's his name?
I just told you my name.
He's not wearing no ID. That's the problem.
Oh, his name is,
people are not wearing their IDs here.
Mr. Jones.
You know what I'm saying? Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Okay, so what's her name? If he could tell me Mike Jones, why she can't tell me her name? If
Okay.
they can put your full name up there and I
Okay,
can't,
because
without an
I'm-
ID.
because I'm the
what's-
program
So
director.
what? So what?
Alright,
She's a
okay.
worker too.
Okay, so-
you know what I'm saying?
okay, but why-
She's
can I
over here.
put
She's
you- why
involved
you
in my
yell-
care just as
Okay,
much
so why
as
you
the
yelling
other
at me?
the supervisor is.
Can you
But the
just-
supervisor's sitting there, aiding and abetting her in misconducting herself in the corruption. I'm asking for names.
somebody just
The
tell me
policy
what's going on.
is that I'm entitled to know their names, and she's not allowing me to know their names. I'm informing you right now what's going on. But you rather listen to them who corruptly, use their office to deprive me of the knowing their names and my rights. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Instead of listening to me.
I'm
You can
not-
look at it. You
Okay,
can look
but
at the
I-
misconduct
I-
on YouTube, and you
okay.
can be informed
But
about
I
it
asked
if you
you-
really
okay,
want to
okay.
know about the misconduct
Okay.
that took place here
No
earlier
problem,
today.
no problem.
Okay, I can give you the link. But
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is that you rather listen to them than watch the direct evidence. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
not-
But that's
it's
what
not
I'm trying to
about
say.
that. Okay,
This
sir.
is where the corruption comes in.
I'm gonna ask you one last time.
Yeah, but
right?
it don't matter
I'm
how many
just gonna
times you
I'm just gonna
ask
ask you
me.
one
You know what I'm
last
saying?
time.
Because
if you could lower
this-
your voice, please.
First
and
of
good
all,
morning,
first of
because
all,
I just walked through the
First
door,
of all,
as you
first
can
of all,
see.
first of all, I have
just
the right
walked
to
through
free
the-
speech.
Okay,
You're
but
not,
you
you're
have the
not,
right-
you're not, you're not.
but you have the right
So
to
I have a
treat
right
me
to
with
free
respect,
speech.
because you're
There's nobody's
not.
disrespecting you,
You're
but
talking
you're
about- and I'm-
disrespecting me, and I'm
No,
trying to because,
no.
like I
you
said,
guys are talking.
I just walked
if
through
you're
the door.
corruptly,
There's
if
no
there's somebody
disrespect
corruptly,
there.
if
There's
somebody
no
corruptly using their
disrespect
office, if somebody sitting
There
there
is no
disrespecting
disrespect.
me, if somebody sitting
I
there
see
who
that?
yeah,
Or
but
did I
I'm
just
trying
walk
to
through
I'm trying to convey that
No,
to
you're
you.
not,
In the
because I
midst
said
of me
good morning
conveying that
to
to you,
you.
you
I
cut
said good
you cut me
morning.
off
I
and you
said
go,
good morning.
what can somebody tell me
I
what
said good
happened?
morning 3
You know what I'm
times. Where's
saying?
your
That's
video
what you
back?
do in the midst
Okay, so
of
let me
me
ask you a
trying to
question.
inform you of
What
what's
is it that you
going
wanna
on.
do at this
How is
point?
that respectful?
What would you
How
like
is
to do
that
at this
respectful?
point?
And then you want to tell me to lower my
What would you like
voice
to do?
as others are talking over me.
Okay, what would you like to
You
do
see
at
what I'm
this
saying?
point?
At this
Because-
point,
because if
I need
someone
betting.
does that,
I need betting.
you can't get
And I
betting
was
at this time
see.
because
All right,
guess what?
see,
You
there you
missed
go.
curfew.
What I'm trying to say
You
is
missed curfew and
no.
and-
First of all,
yes.
I missed curfew at Atlantic
10
Bedford.
10
I missed
p.m.
curfew
Well,
at
we're not Atlantic
at,
Bedford. We're not
at 30th and
assessment.
1st,
We're
but
not
you're performing
assessment.
state functions.
Well, we're not assessment.
I'm
That
entitled
is
to the same
difference.
treatment.
No,
what
you're
you're trying
not.
to do is deprive me
This
of
is
my
your
right to
permanent-
betting.
this is your
This is what you're
permanent
doing.
shelter.
No, but that's
Not a problem.
first of all,
Let me
first
get
of
my
all, you're
phone.
providing a function of the
Let me just
state,
get my
and you're
phone, 'cause you will
abusing
not-
your authority.
Okay,
That's what you're doing.
No
You're
problem.
abusing
You
your
will not go
authority,
to bed.
miss.
You cannot
Miss,
get a bed at this time.
then transfer me, because if you're not going to provide me with
No,
betting,
what I can
transfer
do
me,
is
because I don't
contact the
belong
police
here,
to have you removed.
and you're trying to
Because
sit
you're
here and
not being
violate my rights.
respectful.
No,
You're not-
respect.
you have
First
no
of all,
mask
first of
on.
all, first
You
of
have
all,
no mask
I'm
on.
vaccinated. All
It
right.
doesn't- and so am I.
All right. So what
And
are you
so am
talking
I.
about?
I can
And I have
show
a
you
right to
my
be
card.
secure in my person.
Okay.
All right. I have a right to be secure in my person.
Okay,
And what
so
you're
look
doing
how-
is
you can have a
you're
seat.
violating that right
You can
by
have a seat, and you can
coercing me to
contact
put on a
your
mask.
advocate.
First of all, mask
You
has
can
nothing to
contact
do
your
with
advocate.
me
You can have
having
a
betting.
seat.
I'm entitled to having betting.
And
That's
you will
simple.
get it at 10 p.m.
That's simple.
tonight. 10
No,
p.m.
no,
tonight.
I'm supposed to have that right
will
away.
not.
She
You
said
will
that she
not.
has betting available in
You
the
will
system.
not get it,
But
because
she
you were
says
supposed
she's
to come here at
refusing
10
to
p.m.
provide me with betting.
Because you're being
She said that she was
disrespectful.
going to she's
You're
going to
being
wait until you
disrespectful.
come.
I'm
Now you're
here.
trying to tell me it's
I'm
because of
here.
disrespect. Nobody's disrespecting
No,
anybody.
you have.
What I'm doing is exercising my right to free
have.
speech,
No problem.
and what I'm doing
And you will not
is I'm
get a
speaking
bed
on a
until you have a seat.
misconduct, and
I'll
you're
be
telling me
back.
that's disrespectful.
You
That I'm
will not
speaking
get a
on
bed until you have a seat
misconduct
and relax.
and the misconduct that you're
Just
currently,
give me his
you know,
information.
taking part in.
Because this
All
is
right.
not the shelter
Now
for
this
you.
is
This is
right.
This
What?
is not the shelter for you.
This is not the shelter for me. Okay, now that's discrimination.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure you know.
It's
the difference
discrimination.
between Bedford and Atlantic and here. I'm quite
Hell,
sure.
you talking about? DHS policy states that I have a right to exercise my right, and I also need a copy of the contract. I also need a copy of the contract, miss.
Is he new?
Excuse me. Yes, I'm new, and I came in on Saturday. If you were listening to me, I would have
No,
told you
I
all of
can't
this.
listen to
I
you
would have gave you
because
the
you're talking
download.
loud to
But what
me.
I'm trying to say is, I
That's
need a
why.
copy of the contract
Okay,
that I
you have
signed.
it.
No, I
Okay,
did not get
no
that.
problem.
But I
I'll
was
get
telling
the
her,
copy.
and
No
this is
problem.
if you
And
was
you can have
listening,
it
if you
again.
would have listened to me,
Okay,
you would have
you
seen
get
that.
information.
You would have listened. If you would have listened,
You never
you would have
said
seen
that.
that.
You didn't even say good
You didn't
morning.
let me to do that. You didn't even let me. You cut me
Lies
off
to
in the
tell,
middle,
play your
in the
video.
middle, in the
The
middle
lies
of,
to tell.
in the middle of the
The lies to
conversation.
tell.
Can somebody
The
inform me
lies-
what's going on? Is that not what she said, bro?
I
That's
said good
exactly what
morning
you
to
said.
you
You said
first.
you no, but I was informing you.
first.
I was informing you,
never said good
and you
morning,
cut me off in
and
the
you
middle of
never
it.
said anything.
That
You
has
just
nothing to
continued
do
with your
with
rhetoric.
what your question
No
was,
problem.
which was
Post
what
your
was
video,
going on.
post your
So
video,
what I was
do
doing
whatever you
is
gotta do.
asking for a copy of the contract that I signed. All right, I need a copy of the contract that I signed on Saturday with the when I did my intake.
No
That's what I
problem.
need
No problem.
immediately.
No problem.
I'm entitled to it. I didn't get that on Saturday, and she said I would get it on Monday.
No problem.
Okay, that's what she
Because
said.
today's Wednesday.
She said-
Do you know the
she
days
said-
of the week? Today's Wednesday.
She said that. So
On
what?
Monday.
So what? So what?
Okay, but so you
what?
gotta give
I
people
came in.
an
I came in
opportunity.
today. So what?
You said
So
Monday.
what?
You
She
said
said
she
come
said-
in on a weekday day to
Right.
be here. So
Right.
that's what I'm doing. I'm here on a weekday.
Okay, so no
So I'm
problem.
entitled to that. So
Okay,
what you
so
making
you
it seem like? So
have a seat
today,
on
Just
But
because
today
if
is
I came in next
Wednesday.
month, I'm still entitled to it.
Yeah, but you have to
So,
talk
but
to
you making it
people,
seem
right?
like I'm not
Because you have
entitled to it
talk
because
people,
today's
right?
Wednesday.
It
Like, come
doesn't
on.
matter. You have to talk to people, right?
Oh,
You
nah,
don't
nah,
tell
nah.
the
It's not the
story.
shelter for you. You telling me
It's
that?
not the
How's that
shelter.
right? That's
Because you don't
disrespectful.
have- because
And
my
that's
staff is not-
discrimination.
my staff
All
is
right.
not
Oh, we gonna see. We gonna see.
disrespectful
We gonna see.
My
Who's
staff is not
respectful? Yeah, we gonna
disrespectful.
see.
You will
Your
not
staff's
say
very
that
disrespectful.
until
You need to
10
go on.
p.m.
You need
But
to
I
look
will
at the
make a copy
evidence.
of your documents
Yeah,
and
you
give
can
it
look
to
at the
you.
evidence.
And then you can have
And
it with
yeah,
you.
we can see the corruption and how you're partaking,
problem.
aiding and abetting in them in the corruption.
No
Okay, as a
problem.
program director.
No problem. No problem.
Damn shame. Shit people gotta do just to get a bed. Like, come on. And get a name. Everything was being recorded. So somebody talking and they talking with their hand and having different gestures trying to make their point, and somebody's over talking them, and just because they're over talking them, they raise their voice, and you know, just because they talk a certain way, you take it as disrespect. You can say whatever you want. That ain't no disrespect. That's straight up me exercising my right to be, you know, my free speech, and that's what I'm doing. Period.